Hello, in this episode, we'll go over an example of supervised learning, estimating the production function. We'll be using commercial data on financial data of companies, log of assets for firm size, capital expenditures for investments and debt, employment, tangible assets, advertisement, and R&D. And as an end output, we'll use the log of Tobin's Q. And to eliminate the industry effects, we'll just take off the average of the industry for each of these variables and what we call study the within industry effects. And we want to find the relationship between X and Y's. So we'll use the neural network. Here are all the X's, the firm size, and all the variables. And then we'll go through a neural network and then go eventually to an output of the log of Q. So, and after training, it will just give an estimate. We'll compare that estimate with the actual log Q and estimate the mean square error to measure the performance. Right? So that's what we do. Let me switch to here, the code. So this is the code for this episode, and the data we'll be using is actually, let me show you the data. So I already cleaned up the data, so it has the year and the industry, and then all the variables. Of course, in taking off the industry mean, but all the log Q, sales, operating income, a lot of things. Some of them I don't use. You can see here the capital expenditure, scalable assets, and all these variables I have. And using the data, we'll be running code, a supervised learning. And this will show you how to use the TensorFlow 2 dataset features and feed it into a neural network. Let's see. First, in Google Colab, you may not have to use it if your Google Colab has the right TensorFlow version, but just to make sure it runs on 2.0. And then I'll just be using 2019 data, and I'll be repeating it 10 times to take the average, the MSE 10 times. And here's my Google Colab file path. So let's set these variables, and then I'll be importing the TensorFlow library. So first, load the data. This is, we have done it many times. I have to mount my physically the Google Drive on this computer that finds the address. And then now my Drive Colab notebook folder will be available. So there, I already uploaded my my data file in Google Drive in the Notebook Colab folder, that the Excel sheet you saw. So let me just read it into pandas df variable data frame. And then here are some of the helper functions. I don't really need this, but just to get the industry names, I'll just be picking the first industry only. So it's not necessary, but in case you need multiple industries, you want to know which industry you're training right now. And then to get the data is very standard, but we have done it in dataset, TensorFlow 2 dataset features, but here it is. We can just read it with pandas. And then I'm just picking particular year 2019 for us. And then some of the variables I want to use, I'll just pick them here and drop all the other variables. Any missing variables I'll drop. Here, sometimes you want to pick some industries. I'll just pick the first and second industry as the same, the first of the pharma French 12 industry. Yeah, so now we have the training data and test data that has split the feature. And then I want to basically separate the X and Y. Isn't it? The Y was the log of Q for each test and training data for the B data set. And then here I convert to all this variable to NumPy. And then the last step is how to convert it to the data set here to create a TensorFlow 2 data set. So this is sort of showing you one more time how to do that. And then there's this simple supervised learning I want to evaluate. So I'm going to use the mean square error criteria. And for each data, I will basically have after training, I'll evaluate that. And here's the sequential model of the neural network. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 hidden layers of 50 nodes, and well, actually 5 hidden layers of nodes, and then compile with Adams optimizer. And as you said, the mean square error is here. So I don't have to loop it in this case. I'll be just running the first industry here. I'll measure the time and record the industry and the mean square error for 10 trial run. I'll have 10 epochs, so I'll do 10 times of the industry. So, and here, basically, I'll just train the data set here and compute the MSE. And once it's all done, measure the evaluation and then look the performance. So it's gonna run 10 times. So it's a short code, so it will run reasonably fast, about a minute or so. So we are almost getting there. And the last round is here. All right, so 53 seconds. Okay. And lastly, you want to save the results. So on Google Drive, so I'll name this here, this, and then mean square error, the file path is here, and all the columns. The columns are basically the trial for MSE for each trial. So if I do this, it will save it on my Google Drive. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, this is it. So it did save the mean square error for all 10. So it's about 0.01%, which is okay for a non-optimized test. Right? Thank you for watching this episode.